Imagine waking up in a world where your existence is a punchline, your face is a crime against aesthetics, and even your shadow gets bullied. That's Daniel Park's life. Our boy is short, overweight, poor, and constantly used as a live-action stress ball by everyone around him. And when I say bullied, I don't mean shoved in a locker. I mean dragged, slapped, stomped on, and verbally violated by half the damn school. Especially by one oversized meathead named Logan Lee, a sentient dumpster fire in human form who treats Daniel like his personal chew toy. At home, it's no better. Daniel's mother works herself to death just to keep them afloat, and all she gets is a son who comes home bruised like a rotting banana. Daniel lives at the bottom of society's barrel, unwanted, unwashed, and unseen. He dreams of respect, friends, maybe even a girl who doesn't gag at the sight of him. But instead, the world just keeps kicking. Then, plot twist. One morning, Daniel wakes up, and his body's different. No, scratch that. He wakes up in a brand new body. One that's tall, lean, sharp-jawed, and soaked in anime protagonist energy. He went from back-of-the-classroom blob to literal walking thirst trap. But here's the catch. His old body is still there, asleep next to him. Daniel didn't transform. He duplicated. Now he's living in two bodies. The hot one moves during the day, and the Goblin Edition wakes up when the other sleeps. Two bodies, one soul, and zero clue what the hell is happening. Like any reasonable person in a manhwa, Daniel runs away from home in his hot body and transfers to a new high school in Seoul, J-High. This school is basically an influencer factory. Every hallway is a runway, every kid's chasing stardom, and if your face isn't symmetrical, you're treated like garbage. Thankfully, Daniel's hot self blends in like a model on set, and suddenly he's getting attention he's never dreamed of. People being polite, classmates flirting, girls actually acknowledging he exists. The world smiles at him now. But don't get too cozy, because every time Daniel falls asleep, his real body wakes up, and let's just say, it still lives in poverty, still faces humiliation, and his mom? She still thinks her son's just a sad kid trying to make it through school. He hides it all from her. This is where Lookism really kicks in. Beneath all the glow-up fantasy, there's a creeping darkness. Daniel's starting to like his fake life more than his real one. He begins to avoid his old body, lies to everyone, and clings to the popularity his pretty face gives him. He thinks he's winning, but really, he's just swapping trauma for a time bomb. Enter Zach Lee, also known as the school's unofficial one-man demolition crew. He's ripped, violent, and powered by jealousy. His love interest, Mira, is a calm, kind girl with the patience of a monk, and Zach is so obsessed with her that he turns into a rabid beast if any guy gets within 10 feet of her. So when he sees pretty Daniel being friendly with Mira, oh, he loses it. He sees Daniel as a threat and declares war on his face. Here's the irony. Zach doesn't know that this hot guy is actually the same bullied kid from his old school. The same Daniel he used to watch get pulverized. And now, that same kid's back, looking like a magazine model and talking to Mira like he's known her for years. The tension builds. Zach's fists are always ready. He keeps trying to provoke Daniel, and Daniel keeps dodging. Not just punches, but the truth. But here's the twist. Zach isn't just a violent idiot. He's a tragic backstory with fists. He started boxing because he was once bullied too. Everything he does, even the anger, comes from fear. Fear of losing Mira. Fear of being weak again. Fear of going back to the bottom. Zach isn't a villain. He's just a damaged boy in a broken system where violence is the only way to speak. Meanwhile, Daniel's dealing with identity overload. He's got to go to class, make friends, avoid being exposed, and keep switching bodies without anyone noticing. And the more people treat him like a king in his hot form, the more alienated he feels in his real one. Even worse, he starts to resent that body. The body that his mother raised, that suffered for years, now feels like a burden. And that's where Lookism hits hardest. Because it's not just about how people see you. It's about how you start to see yourself. Daniel's trying to live two lives, but they're starting to crash into each other. Every compliment he gets as pretty Daniel feels like a slap to his real face. Every smile hides a lie. Every friendship is based on a body that isn't his. And the guilt? It's eating him alive. Zach eventually calms down. Not because he forgives Daniel, but because he starts to see that Daniel's not the shallow flirt he thought. Daniel's sincerity, his awkwardness, his kindness, they start leaking through. And even a guy like Zach can see that there's more going on beneath the surface. Slowly, without realizing it, Zach, Mira, and even some classmates start becoming real friends. Not to the pretty face, but to the person behind it. By the end of this arc, Daniel's life has changed. He's no longer invisible. He has power, popularity, and attention. But none of it feels earned. Because deep down, he knows It wasn't him that won all this. It was his looks, his pretty shell, and the person inside, still scared, still struggling, still stuck between a life he hates and a life that isn't really his. And the question hangs in the air like a bad memory. If you could live a lie that makes you happy, would you ever go back to the truth? That's where we'll stop for now. But trust me, this is only the beginning. Because up next, Daniel meets Vasco, a church-loving, fight-obsessed lunatic with a heart of gold, and things go from high school drama to back-alley warfare real quick. So stay tuned. This glow-up story, it's about to get bloody.